Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an absolutely fantastic day. To start things off, the news of the hour, the news that's the most popular right now. Of course, the total market cap of the cryptocurrency space has lost $15 billion in a day after the CFTC has charged the owners of Bitmex for illegally operating their platform. Bitcoin is currently below $10,500, while Ethereum has fallen below $350. They're not even close to $10,000. Bitcoin was riding high around $10,900 yesterday before dumping below $10,500 following the controversial Bitmex news from yesterday. Most alts have copied the move downward, resulting in a $15 billion loss for the market cap. As Crypto Potato reported yesterday, the U.S. Commodities and Futures Trading Commission charged the owners of one of the largest Bitcoin derivatives exchanges, Bitmex, for illegally operating the platform and violating anti-money laundering rules. Being such an important part of the cryptocurrency ecosystem, the Bitmex news immediately impacted prices within the industry. Following a few positive days, Bitcoin was hovering around $10,900, but it vigorously dropped by about $500, give or take, in just a few minutes. The asset bottomed at around $10,450 on Binance. Bitmex quickly issued an official response claiming that the exchange has always sought to comply with the applicable U.S. laws and that all funds are safe. As one might have imagined, this is the news of the day. Everyone is quite shocked, quite scared, quite something. Everyone has an emotion going on right now when it comes to this news. I posted about it on Twitter last night. Thank you to everyone who responded, and thank you to the two people who just decided that they had to say something mean about me because, you know, why not? It's 2020. The point is, this has happened before. First of all, there's a bunch of layers to this. Things like this have happened before, and Bitcoin's price has fallen before when the SEC or the CFTC have taken action against a cryptocurrency exchange. What many people in the cryptocurrency space don't understand is that it's not, what's the word? The main point to be had is that a lot of people, especially people who are new to the cryptocurrency space, don't understand that a cryptocurrency exchange is not Bitcoin. And this is why I keep saying, make sure to do your own research. It's not just to figure out which coins are scams or which coins you should not be into. It's also just to understand what a blockchain is and how Bitcoin works. And just because a cryptocurrency exchange is down, has gone down, has been sanctioned, has been spoken to with a harsh tone, that Bitcoin itself, the blockchain, is not going to crumble because all of this has happened. Even more so is that once the news had hit us in the face that the CFTC had walked into the Bitmex doors, I assume they had walked into doors and or emailed them and or gave them a very rude call, is that immediately after we were told that the funds were safe, which was a very big thing a couple of years ago. Whenever a cryptocurrency exchange had issues, maybe people were trying to pry into it, whatever the actual case might be, the question mark always flew up. Hey, is everyone's money safe? And we knew that the money was safe. And of course, people, I assume, have been taking their money off of that cryptocurrency exchange as well. But this also then leads us to, why were people still panicking? What the heck was that on my leg? The point to be made is that, yes, the prices plunged. Of course, not of course that Bitmex is being targeted, and I'll show you exactly why I said of course. We have entered into some type of a new phase that is, so a lot of people, especially on the actual Twitter thing last night, apparently a lot of people think that this is positive for the cryptocurrency space, not the fact that the price has dropped or whatever, yada, yada. It's more of a, well, regulators are here to save us. Regulators are going to be our best friends in this, and we need more regulations. I promise you, I saw this a couple times. The idea being that the regulations or the pushing aside of other exchanges would allow for room for people who've been trying to get into the industry to be able to get in, which are basically the friends of the regulators, which I don't disagree with at all. Do I think this is a good thing? 50-50. Did I think it was going to eventually happen? Probably. Not exclusively to Bitmex, but I mean, you know, here we are. It says Bitcoin plunges below 10,500. This one says market wrap. Blame Bitmex as Bitcoin dumps to 10,400. I'd rather blame the CFTC who said that they were operating illegally. I'm going to assume that as big as Bitmex is, now here's the logic part, they've been around for about a good 3 to 4 years, and if they've been operating within the United States, they probably had a pretty good idea as to if they were doing something illegal or not. Why? Because the US has attacked every single cryptocurrency exchange, every single cryptocurrency project within their borders within about a good couple of months of them coming online, serving U.S. customers, which has also been a very big thing. So I'm going to assume as a multi-billion-dollar company, Bitmex, they probably had at least 2 lawyers, and that's a minimum 2 lawyers who were looking through the books to make sure that they were compliant, especially as the U.S. has state-by-state regulations. So I wouldn't blame Bitmex, even though I don't use them. It's more of a, logic. Bitmex denies CFTC and Department of Justice allegations, says trading will continue. All funds are safe. Bitmex Response. This is, of course, the most popular thing going on right now. I don't know if prices are going to remain low. I would assume that prices would begin to swing back up as people wake up and logic hits them in the face. I mean, listen, is this maybe time for another discussion as to just take your cryptocurrency off of a cryptocurrency exchange and maybe we won't have this problem again? People were telling me in of course a very lovely tone that apparently Bitmex is in possession of through all the people who have deposited Bitcoin on their website of around 180,000 Bitcoin. And should all those Bitcoin disappear, well, then the Bitcoin's price is going to go down. But the problem is that they told us that all the funds were safe. You're still able to take your money off of Bitmex. And why is the price? Actually, the price is still dropping. I checked before I started making the video. The price is still going down. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, if you have a really big problem with your money being on a cryptocurrency exchange and you are legally able to take it off and custody it yourself, buy a ledger. Put it on your phone, put it on your desktop, and then we won't have these problems again. But of course, we're going to have these problems again because people like being really dramatic. And without further ado, let's move on. There's actually a whole, you'll see. There's an entire thing going on right now where the news is just flooded with anything SEC, CFTC, because I think that they are doing a massive purge. I feel like we all knew this was going to come, but it feels like they've really revved it up, and I'm not exactly sure why. It could potentially be that we are maybe, going to see some type of a, what's the word? Like an actual blanket regulation coming very soon, and this is kind of the last wing of all of it. Back in July, the SEC alongside the CFTC fined investment app Abra for providing trading on synthetic assets. At the time, this looked that looked like the end of the matter. However, in response to the Cointelegraph's Freedom of Information Act request for details in the Abra case, the SEC cited FOIA's Exemption 5, an exemption that only applies to ongoing investigations. The exemption applies to situations, sure, why not? The SEC's response does not provide details into the ongoing investigation and was careful to spell out that it does not mean the commission is accusing Abra of anything yet, but of course they are. The SEC has gone after every single thing. This goes back to the other discussion that we were having many moons ago about the SEC coming after Ripple. They would have immediately done so because they've come after every other small-looking company, corporation around the same exact time. This is also a very big one. This also has to do with the news that I was saying as far as whatchamacallit. The whole regulations thing. I feel like we're very close to something because there's far too much of this news popping up at the exact same time. There's far too much rating, far too much screaming, far too much you did this, you did that, you have to now pay us money, going back and forth. The US IRS has selected Texas-based Integra and New York-based Chainalysis to lead its efforts to trace cryptocurrency transactions that aim to be anonymous, but I assume it also has to do with all of them in general. Earlier this month, the IRS Criminal Investigation Unit put out a call for proposals from companies to develop to develop technologies that can break through privacy coin Monero's anonymity layers. IRS Contracting Officer Marcy Almeida announced today that the IRS has decided to award Chainalysis and Integra FEC contracts worth around $625,000 each. As detailed in the original request, each company will initially receive $500,000 to produce a proof of concept and a working prototype within 8 months of the contract. We had news, just a couple of weeks ago that they were, 13 companies who were vying for the IRS's hand in marriage to be able to do this and help them with all their cryptocurrency needs and wants. You clearly see what's going on. There is a rush to try and get things in order, get things in line. I think probably within the next couple of weeks, we'll see if this lulls down, but I think they're going to go for one big wave all at a time because I just feeling in my bones. I assume many other cryptocurrency exchanges are probably okay. There aren't many that are even allowed to work within the United States right now, or any other ones have pretty much left because of the insanity when it comes to the actual rules. We're going to see a lot more news about tracking coins and have private transactions. There was news yesterday. I didn't have it in the video. I think the Gemini twins, did I have it in the video? The Gemini twins are now allowing withdrawals of a coin that has private transactions. I don't know if it's because they're trying to just get it off of their platform, or I don't know exactly what it is, but you have to wonder if they're the most regulated. They probably are maybe even able to, maybe they're working with Chainalysis already and they're already able to track those transactions regardless of where they go. Who knows exactly what the whole thing there is, but we're seeing a massive, huge amount of regulations or witch hunting kind of happening all at once, if this makes any sense. A U.S. court yesterday agreed with the SEC that Kick Interactive offered and sold securities in the United States, its token Kick, without being authorized to do so. You see this is all happening within like a day. This is within a 32-hour period. All this news has popped up. It had been a long wait for Kick followers since oral agreements. Whoa, hold on. Wait. There we go. The microphone was being pulled again. It had been a long wait for Kick followers since oral agreements ended in court on the 9th of July. Kick fans have had to hold for 83 days, hoping for a favorable decision, but for one lawyer, the result was never going to go any other way. He said it was just a matter of time, in my view. There are 3 key points in the decision, Mark Boyron, blockchain and fintech attorney, told Decrypt. According to Boyron, these 3 key points establish what a common enterprise is, whether these 2 sales can be considered an integrated offering of securities, or whether or not cryptocurrency was itself a security. It's not a matter of if it was an actual security. This is just and I don't want to say a diversion, but it has to do with the entire fact that a lot of cryptocurrencies, you may also remember the other one, the Telegram token. These coins were, and I mentioned this in another video, quick take, was that the US SEC immediately jumped on anything that looked like Libra. Any coin that wasn't attached to the US dollar that would allow people on their phones, on their tablets, or even on their computers to be able to transact value back and forth, whatever the actual case might be. If you were getting into a situation where you and your friend were discussing something and say, hey, dude, you owe me $5, and he sent you, 48,000 kin, because that was the equivalent amount of $5, you've done all of that transacting in value without using the US dollar or the euro or the yen. This is a very big problem for governments, and the only thing that they can figure out how to say, in my view, in my eyes, because we've seen this over the last couple of years, is to simply state that something is a security or a commodity. Why didn't you register with us? Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you do so and so? As opposed to thinking more logically in 2020 terms, or in terms that many other people who have grown up with technology simply think, well, it's a number on a screen. I know it transacts in value for governments and stuff like that, but it's like sending a text back and forth. Imagine having to tell someone that you're sending a text every single time, or them being like, why didn't you tell us you sent the text? It's because I'm sending a digital currency through my phone to my other friend so that he can buy a pair of shoes or whatever you can buy for $5. So it's more of a, you realize that every other coin that has come out that had something app-ish, as far as being able to transact value through Kick, through Kin, through, this is why they jumped on top of Libra, and this is why we probably also, not that we will see some type of an issue, but I assume that at this point they've gone through the SEC and or FCC for voice. Because imagine a social media platform. What if voice takes off? And what if people are transacting in voice back and forth? What if there's a voice store within the actual app at some point and people are able to buy things with voice without actually having to use the US dollar, because over the course of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, they've racked up a huge amount of voice tokens, and therefore they're able to actually buy the things they want. What if there's a situation in the future where someone wants to buy a flight to the Bahamas and they can simply just use Libra, Kin, Kick, or voice? That poses a very huge problem, because the regulators want everything to flow through their systems. And if it's not flowing through their systems, well, then they're going to have a very big problem. This is why we've had situations before where the International Monetary Fund and the SEC, what's her name, Hester Pierce, have come forward and they said, yeah, this is looking like a really big problem because they can't control all of these things. All it takes is for someone to be able to create something behind the scenes, activate it, initiate it, people start using it, and therefore it becomes really popular. And then regulators have a very hard time taking it down because it should be decentralized in some sort of way. And even though there's stuff that's not decentralized, how do you anyway, the point is, what's this one? Yeah, this has been happening for a while. This is the one from 2019, where the SEC ordered EOS, or the people from EOS, Block 1, to pay $24 million for their unregistered ICO, which the people from EOS tried to get away with. Not that they were like hamburglaring it. It's more of they mentioned before that the tokens that you got before they were transferred over to the EOS mainnet had no value. And as such, they should have fallen out of the purview of the SEC, but I'm pretty sure the SEC was not too happy with all of that. Yeah, this is going to continue to happen. This is going to continue to be a thing. Call it a washing away of bad projects, if you will. But if we are truly in an open market and truly in a decentralized place, why can't projects like this simply run around as well? Like if Kick, Kin, Koopadoop, and all these other coins are going to be complete garbage, just let them be complete garbage and let them be washed away by the market. It has to do with the fact that we are seeing a circumvention, a very obvious one, of people making sure not to use the US dollar. And that's also the decision of other countries as well, and other things that we've also been talking about. Imagine what it must have been like for regulators to find out that Facebook had opened up a company within Switzerland to create a new version of currency that was going to be listed or available to 2 billion people all at once. It has to do with control, but that's just how things are. And this is why, as the other dominoes keep falling, it's important to be in the most decentralized cryptocurrency as we move forward. Also, this ties very obviously into the other news that we were just talking about as well. The European Central Bank has applied for a trademark on the phrase digital euro, according to a Bloomberg report. Bloomberg confirmed that the European Central Bank lawyers at the German firm Bach Legal applied for the European Union Intellectual Property Office's digital euro trademark on the 22nd of September. It has not yet been granted, but of course it is going to. Officials have not actually committed to the issuing of a digital euro quite yet. That's a lie. Eurozone central bankers say they continue to study the issue even as an alternative to cryptocurrency. I believe they have all these things already. This discussion has been going on for far too long with people from the European Central Bank and the International Monetary Fund and the BIS as far as the issuance of a central bank digital currency by different places around the world. Of course, if nothing else, they have a test net for this. If nothing else, if not multiple other test nets. Didn't we just have news that the U.S. also apparently has multiple test nets as well for this? Of course, they're all trying to figure out a way to implement this the best way possible. They are figuring out, or have figured out very, very quick, that they have and are going to continue falling behind, especially if that news actually ends up being true, that they don't plan on launching any of these things, until the year 2024. They're going to fall very far behind very fast. It's not going to work, as I've said many other times before, just because of interoperability. I know that it's going to be hard for them to try and make other countries really bend the knee to say, yes, you have to take this, yes, you have to do this, yes, you have to so and so. Anyway, the point is, yes, of course they are. Of course they're trying to get a trademark for a digital euro because they probably already have one, if not are in the process of making one. And of course, within a couple of years, we're going to see this floating around everywhere. And it's going to be touted as a new, easy way for everyone to be able to transact in value. But we don't need that. We know that now that we do not already need these things because we already have, even if you want to, go to the top of the bottom of the barrel, we have Tether. we can transact in other stablecoins that don't use the actual things that all they're going to be creating is their own stablecoin. They call it a central bank digital currency because it's going to be issued by a central bank, but it's going to be a stablecoin. It's going to be stable on the price of the paper currency that they have digitized. Anyway, yes, of course, everyone knows this. I guess the really big news is, this was also quite popular news, that they have trademarked or trying to trademark the term digital euro. Bet you $1, they're probably, someone else is also trying to trademark digital dollar, digital yen, digital rand, I assume. Here's another one, which I won't even have to go through. It says crypto is now finally being taken seriously by the tax man. Of course. Yes. Especially as we apparently, and this is, it's not tinfoil hat, but you have to assume that all the news that we've been getting over the last couple of months, from Bank of America, from Deutsche Bank, from JP Morgan Chase, and all their analysts and stuff like that who have been coming to the idea that Bitcoin could potentially in the future maybe hit $250,000 to $500,000 per coin. That's a lot of money for any one individual to make. The issue that we had years ago in 2017, for those of you who are not here, or maybe you were here and forgot about it, is that people made an excessive amount of money years ago. And what happened was that a lot of people didn't pay something that they were told to pay. And as such, that's when the SEC and the CFTC and the IRS all popped up and they were like, hey, buddy, what's up? Because you kind of get what I'm saying. So as we enter into potentially what could be maybe another situation where the prices of the cryptocurrency market goes completely insane, of course, they're now taking it seriously because they want their slice of the pie. But I think it's just more than the tax man who's taking it seriously. I think it's across the entire board. I think we have, once again, exited that entire idea of that crypto's not a threat. And really all it took was Libra. As much as we may not like Bookface, it came down to the fact that they shook them to their core because they probably didn't even realize that technologically that was possible. Like, it's a bit of a generational gap. That's not saying that everyone who's not in said current generation, what have you, it does not understand technology or cryptocurrencies, but it's definitely something where these people believed that we are the printers. No one else can print. And then someone's like, hey, I'm going to create a new coin that doesn't have value, but it's pegged to so and so and so, and it's going to be so, and 2 billion people will be allowed to use it. That's terrifying for them. So, yes, regulators are in full force. They are charging as quickly as they possibly can, and we will see how this all develops because, you know, we have no choice because time continues moving forward. Okay, why not news? The Atari Group, yeah, that Atari, the company behind Pac-Man, will begin publicly selling its Atari Token in November. Atari, or ATRI, is a self-styled entertainment industry payment method in the form of an ERC20 token atop Ethereum. It's been in the works since 2018. Wow. Crypto, casinos, blockchain games, and the video game distribution platform Ultra.io will be among the utility token's earliest use cases, said the Atari blockchain subsidiary Atari Chain. That's a smart name. The game maker said it will reap 35% of Atari sale revenues. Issuance partner ICICB, wow, Group A fintech whose only public client is Atari, stands to take the rest. The game maker said it will reap 35% of the sales. Okay, sales revenue. I was like, of the tokens? So, yeah, Atari's making a coin. Sure. Actually, listen, I'm not going to even bet against them. Let's see one of these things actually take off. How many platforms have actually created cryptocurrencies and we've been like, oh, wow, that's the one. That one's definitely going to take off. Let's see if they can do it. Maybe they might be the first blockchain gaming network thing that really does very well, because the other ones that we have on Tron and all these other things are people just pulling levers and very basic interfaces. So if Atari can actually make a really beautiful looking game that runs on the Atari chain, blockchain, and runs... Wait, no. So it appears that the coin is going to run on top of Ethereum. Once again, for those of you who don't think that Ethereum is going to be the because why is everyone building? Anyway, the point is, Atari Coin is coming. My only thing, question mark, in the sky. Hold on. Investors and game players who have bought 1.5 million in Atari tokens through 2 private pre-sales, which priced 8 cents. Atari said the third pre-sale is ongoing. I wonder, and of course, U.S. citizens cannot take part because, I wonder how these will be distributed. And I say that in the most honest way, simply because every time we get news about something like this, we find out that 65% of the tokens are actually held by the company. Another 10% has gone to like rich investors. There was another like pre-sale. There's another 10% there, and then all the rest just gets sprinkled on everyone else, and they're like, decentralized. So we'll see what the numbers are, because you better believe someone's going to go through all of them. But that is, as it stands right now, Atari's making a coin in November. Let's see if by December we have some really cool blockchain games. And without further ado, let us move on. Also in popular news, Bitflyer Europe is giving its European Bitcoin traders direct access to the Tokyo-based parent exchange's Japanese's liquidity. Announced on Wednesday, the cross-border initiative opens Japan's high-volume Bitcoin markets to European traders, courting Bitcoin to Japanese yen trading pairs. Bitflyer said in a press release statement, the new approach eases those traders access to liquidity by doing away with multiple account requirements. In the long term, Bitflyer said it plans to unlock cross-border trading pairs across 3 active regions: Europe, Japan, and the US. Popular news. So Bitflyer Europe is allowing people in Japan to give them liquidity based on their trading pairs. Next up, in what? Like, is what? Is this news is what? Not content with its plans to use Bitcoin and altcoins and its own petro in international trade deals, Venezuela now appears ready to Venezuela now appears ready to take the plunge into the world of DeFi. The Venezuelan National Superintendency of Securities, known as SUNAVAL, the state securities regulator, has announced the launch of a pilot for a decentralized stock exchange of Venezuela, which calls itself the world's first decentralized stock exchange per its official website. The chief architect of the platform is Miguel Aron Fajardo Garcia, who also helped the Maduro regime launch the Interbanex foreign exchange trading platform last year. In a video streamed on his Instagram account. What is this? What am I reading? This guy was on his Instagram. He claimed that the new platform has been in the pipelines for months, but that its operators had decided to keep the project a secret. I wonder why. Like, you made your own decentralized stock exchange. Like, if other countries, if one country had problems before because you're under sanctions with the things you were doing, just imagine how secret you had to be to create your own decentralized stock exchange. Crypto Noticias reported that the pilot will run for 90 days and is a DeFi project that operates on the Ethereum blockchain. Why not at this point? I mean, listen, I feel like if I just simply said it's running on a blockchain, you would know exactly which blockchain already. How many countries have to run their platform on Ethereum for people to really understand how big Ethereum is going to be? Per the government's announcement, the decentralized stock exchange of Venezuela will allow traders to access primary, secondary, and derivatives markets for both options and futures. And that's not all. It will also reportedly allow parties to carry out public offerings for securities, negotiations, transfer, custody, and settlement processes. My actual goodness. What more can I say? Like, what is this year so far? So to I I don't even know, man. Like my mind is just completely wiped. They have first of all, they're not only getting into DeFi, they're creating their own decentralized stock exchange. They announced a day or two ago that like they're going to be like the leaders in trading crypto and stuff like that, and that Bitcoin is basically legal. And have they done stuff with mining? Oh yeah, they did. About 2 weeks ago, they had their own cryptocurrency mining legality issues and stuff like that as well. Like you have to register with them, so it's a little dystopian, but you know it's still there. So what do I say? I think this news is major. I know once again it won't make it into news that's everywhere news for everyone else because people tend to look over these things. But if you want to talk about dystopian, not acceptance, what's the word? Bitcoin accumulation, Bitcoin adoption, Bitcoin adoption. Dystopian adoption was the phrase I was looking for. Here it is, right in front of all of our faces. So I assume we're going to have other countries announcing these things as well. That's what it was. That they were going to start trading crypto with other countries. That's exactly what it was. And I ascertained that it must be because they've already been talking with other countries who are already into all of this as well. But I bet you woke up this morning not expecting to hear that that they were creating a decentralized stock exchange on Ethereum. That was the last thing in your mind. Makes me wonder about the future price of Ether. Where's that going to go? Because everyone's building on top of it. Like you have to see how like kind of the sky's the limit for this thing. And this is why we were getting all those really crazy like $8,000 predictions per Ether. I mean, hello, like what's anyway, let's move on. All right. Yeah. As always, do you see how crazy the news is like every single day? Like it's just, I sit here losing my mind sometimes because people are like, another country adopting Bitcoin. Quite boring news. And I'm like, do you get what's happening in front of our eyes? Like it's like a tidal wave of regulations in countries. Do you see this? Can you imagine having this news in 2005? We'd be like, what is going on? These are digital currencies. These aren't real. We can't touch these things. They exist only on the internet. And we have governments and countries building on top of them and launching their own. And you know what the idea of a decentralized stock exchange means? Even if it's not going to be the most decentralized, don't assume that they're going to be like the forefront in decentralization. But is it really just me who thinks this is all completely insane? Bitcoin has been around for 10 years. Do you see how much the world has changed in 10 years? As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, almost at Uma Oberty. Tolek Banan, Snacky Chan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Decentralized, Peter Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Storio, Nostromo, John Stars, Indiana Marita, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohar Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Snyder, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Goldie 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangia, Lavodi, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day is to Crypto, Body McButtface, Body McButtface, Anytime Fitness, Mark's Corner Staff, Arthmetic17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara, Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayla, Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who's a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to both channels. Thank you in general. You're all absolutely amazing at the moment. Bitcoin is currently at 10,467 US dollars. It has double dipped. It looks like it is going lower because, logic. I don't even have to say it. This market's nonsense. Ether is down by 7%. Of course, everything is in red. Red, one big red. Chainlink is down by 10. Cardano's roughly down by 10 as well if you want to round up. Nothing, I think, going out of the ordinary right at the moment. Nope. Everything is down. Every other coin is in red because people were afraid I'm sure it happened that Bitcoin was hacked or Bitcoin was screamed at by the CFTC. Every other coin, every coin is in red. I want this to sink into your head. The entire market is down because of what happened to Bitmex. Remember the other video I made? Oh, first of all, for those of you who don't know, the other day, that thumbnail I used on the video was Kim Kardashian. I got a lot of really weird comments as to who people thought that was. People thought I was making fun of people. People thought I was doing a lot of other things. Nope, that was Kim Kardashian. That was her during an award ceremony. The point is, the name of that video, that's what's happening right now in the cryptocurrency space. It's just a lot of, woo, hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all have a great, wait for it, Friday. Enjoy your Friday. I hope it's absolutely amazing. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.